Hello. Just killed a mosquito while clapping to introduce this podcast. You're probably wondering why I'm at a fireworks stand, and I'll get to that. I really will. But, more importantly, you're probably wondering why. My shirt is unbuttoned, and that's because I just want to ask, if you guys are listening to this on the audio, then there's probably not a good chance you could see me. There's probably like a 0% chance, actually. But, if you're watching this on YouTube, excuse me, I just wanted to see, what are my nipples? Like, rate them 1 to 10. See, I don't know. I feel like I got pretty small nipples. Here, I'll get a little close-up. Actually, they're pretty average. I just don't really spend much time looking at my nipples. To be completely honest, I mean, it's just the harsh reality, you know? It's the world we live in. So, I actually started growing hair around my nipples. I just had a ring of hair when I was in like 7th grade. Just a little nipple hair. But, why am I at a fireworks stand? Why is it so late at night? Questions. A lot of questions. And that's because I'm working a fireworks stand because I'm in college. And I found a college summer job that I get paid to fucking sleep. I'm working security guard in this bitch, man. I'm working security. If somebody runs up on me and tries to rob this stand, there's no goddamn chance I'm going to try to defend this place. It's not worth the minimum wage pay. But, I mean, even though I'm learning jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and boxing right now, I am not going to use any of that. I'm going to say, hey man, you probably shouldn't do that. And then they put the gun in my face. I say, alright man, go ahead and steal those fireworks, bro. Dude, I'm not gonna defend this place. I don't even know what I would do. I guess I would call the cops. I don't know. I don't even know if I would. I might just call my boss, but anyway. It's kind of like the dopest job ever. You just work 12 straight hours, minimum wage, which means alright, but you don't do shit. And it's totally worth your time because you're only awake for, I mean, I gotta be here at 8:30, and I leave at 8:30 in the morning, so I pretty much just get paid to sleep. Chill as fuck. If you ever get the opportunity to do it, do it. It's cool, especially if you got a laid back boss. I want to show you my little setup here. Let's all flip this bitch around. By bitch, I mean this screen. I got my book, The Millionaire Next Door. Good read so far. I'm only like, well, what was that? Maybe like I don't know, maybe 25%, maybe 26% through. I got my speaker. I bought a speaker. I got my fat ass salad. That's what I'm taking bites of. Anyway, if you watched the last podcast, then hell yeah, good for you. If you didn't, then fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. That was way too aggressive, overly aggressive, and I apologize. That it won't happen again. Alex Jones, have you ever seen that? Fuck you. Sorry, I apologize. I don't care. Anyway, wow, this one's not as good as the last one as far as flow of things. It's just kind of random, like my mind, just kind of off the top of the noggin. Probably shouldn't be eating it either. That puts a lot of pauses, and that's really considered to you guys. So, for the remainder of this podcast, regardless of the shitty intro, I'm going to make it interesting. And if you haven't left already, then what the hell are you doing with your day? Because clearly bored. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to have a good little talk with you guys. I like to say, on top of, so I just started jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and boxing. If you're not familiar with what those three things are, boxing, pretty standard, especially if you live in the U.S. I don't know about the rest of the world, but it's pretty standard. Most people know it. It's just throwing punches, jabs. Muay Thai is a little bit more complex. It's known as like the martial arts of 8 or something. Because you use your fists, your elbows, your knees, and your feet. And I guess, so that's 4 things total, and you multiply by 2, because you have 2 arms and 2 legs, if you weren't aware. And then, so you do a lot of kicks, a lot of knees, It's pretty badass, to be honest. If you ever get the opportunity to do it, then fucking do it. It's cool. It's a cool experience. And I'm also doing jiu-jitsu, which is the hardest, in my opinion, the most difficult to just pick up. I've been to like 8 practices so far or something like that, and it's a difficult, very difficult sport. I respect the fuck out of anybody who has passionately pursued that, because it's difficult, and it's an art. It really is. It's a beautiful sport. It's a lot more like grappling on the ground and stuff, takedowns, stuff like that. But the cool thing about jiu-jitsu is you can go like 100% with somebody and most likely not get hurt. I mean, I busted my lip because somebody accidentally punched me when they were like going to grab my shoulder. But for the most part, it's pretty safe. It's kind of like wrestling in a way, but I mean, a black belt in jiu-jitsu is gonna fuck up a world wrestler 100% every time. Jiu-jitsu is just so much more badass. But I don't really want to talk about myself. I want to talk about what I like, trying new things, like jiu-jitsu, like this. Because jiu-jitsu is difficult for me. I struggle with it. I'm not necessarily good at all at this point. I'm extremely in the beginning stages of this art, this experience, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Because I think there's something very interesting in the humility of trying new things. I really enjoy that. Just being terrible, fucking shitty at something, and making very small amounts of progress. Like that's so fun to me. That's what makes life interesting, you know. If you just constantly are doing things you're good at. Like I'm pretty damn good at soccer, and sorry, that sounded a little conceited. There are a lot of people that can beat me in soccer, but for the state of Missouri, I'm pretty above average. Especially for this country in the United States. I might be pretty average if I go over to Europe or something. But, I should really quit eating. That's inconsiderate. Anybody who's watching, I apologize. I guess I can only apologize to people that are watching, because anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of humility in that, in trying new things. Trying new things and fucking up and making little mistakes. There's a lot of joy in that. There's also a lot of joy in giving to other people. Wow. Well, while I'm at a fireworks stand, I also want to talk about how stupid fucking fireworks are. Fireworks are so goddamn stupid, especially I just never really had interest in them. And the more I learn about climate change, the more I fucking hate fireworks. Like, there's no way that the entire country sending explosives into the air, that's good for the weather, that's good for the climate. I think it's kind of an outdated thing, but it's so deep in our culture, and there's a lot of money in it. That's why I'm even sitting in this stand right now. There's money in it, and I don't think we're ever going to move away from that, unfortunately. I don't think our selfish desires are really gonna be extinguished for the better of the planet, and that's the fucked up thing about humanity. I'm gonna quit talking about climate change though, because I'm kind of ignorant. I'm probably, and that's pretty conceited to say. I'm very ignorant to the topic. I've watched a few documentaries. I don't know shit, but I do know that it's real, and it's not a belief. I don't know why it went conservative versus liberals. I don't know why that became a thing. If it's true or not, I think we should all just kind of understand that it is fucking real. And there's something that needs to be done. There's action that needs to be taken against climate change. I have a problem. I can't quit eating, so. I also want to talk about music. Music's interesting because Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, great book if you haven't read it. Awesome book. Talks about music as a stimulant, one of the 10 stimulants, like sex, love, and there are 10 stimulants. I can't remember the others on the top of my head, but music is one of them. And I think music is interesting because music's kind of a drug in a way, like it. Especially at the gym, like if I'm listening to a good ass song that's like beating hard, like my heartbeat's going, and I'm running on the treadmill or lifting some weights, like that on top of endorphins, like I'm going, dude. Sometimes I'll feel more just good about myself and good about life and all that with that daily dose of music and blood flowing and the endorphins. I'll feel better then than I would when I'm getting drunk with my buddies, you know. I just feel, I want to feel healthier, feel a lot healthier, because it is healthier. But, I mean, yeah, alcohol can give you that happiness, but nothing compared to endorphins, and especially music. Like, music's interesting how it just, it's like the most mood-altering thing. Besides some people, like, I mean, if you bring some good people and you're pissed off and so a very calm individual who really means a lot to you comes in and they calm you down, then yeah, that can help a lot too. But if you don't necessarily have that outlet, then music's a great way. Like, I've always been very intrigued with that. I think most of the population, most of the people listening to this would completely agree with me and completely understand. But I think there's somebody back there again. Fuck. Yeah, music's interesting. I think the coolest thing about music to me is music really it takes me back. Music takes me back more than like anything. I can't think of anything that I don't know, you can, for example, like if I listen to a song from last summer, I'm able to recall exactly what I was doing at that time. I just have it's like a mood congruent memory. It's like a mnemonic device that you're able to link towards something through music, and like music makes you feel inside like the way you felt in that moment in time at the time, whatever that specific memory is. Sometimes I'll have multiple memories, but for the most part I have one memory linked to pretty much every song that I have any history with. I find that really cool because I'll listen to my old iPod or something like that. Got my old iPod Nano and I was like, I play this song, I'd be like, oh, this reminds me of freshman year of high school when we were doing this in the summertime. Oh, this song reminds me of the winter of 2014, you know, like it's just really cool how music can take you back, not just to that time, but like how you felt in that time, like your emotions that you were feeling, what you were going through, what life was like for you. There's nothing like that. I mean, like alcohol is definitely not that way, or any drug or anything like that. That's not going to be that way for you. I can't think of anything else. Maybe some people might take you back, like, but if you're meeting these people and growing with them and you're maintaining a steady relationship, then you're most likely going to think of them as you perceived them the last time you saw them or the most recent events, not necessarily as how they were 5 years ago, like your mom or a good friend or something like that, or a cousin. But like somebody, I guess, for example, somebody that you say you go into high school with somebody and you go to your 10-year reunion and you see them and there are just some qualities about them that never really changed, never really evolved, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm not saying that as a negative thing. But they just didn't really change, and they take you back to like high school, those memories you had with them at the time. That's cool. That's special. That's something to enjoy. But music's the other thing that can do that, and I think music. I get that strong impulse with some people. A very limited, a very finite amount of individuals will make me feel that way. Again, and it's not really one specific memory though. It's like a collective, like just feeling the vibe that individual gave you back then. They kind of give you again, which kind of makes, when in result, makes you feel how you felt back then, because you're receiving the same vibes, the same feeling that you felt then. That's the only thing that it's like mood congruent memory. That's the only thing. But with music, I guess it's kind of works the same way. Yeah, because you're listening to the song, and it just makes you feel a certain way. Some music can just do that, and I think those are the best artists. The artists that are capable of really triggering something deep inside you, almost like spiritually, that are gonna be triggering like a certain feeling. That's the best kind of music. Those are the best kind of artists, in my opinion. And I personally, I don't get that from the fucking trap music or anything like that. I mean, that's just ignorant music. But like somebody who can like really write some deep, almost sentimental, just things that just hits you in the feels, like the oh, whatever that may be to you. I mean, that's super subjective to be talking about. Maybe it is trap music. I personally think trap music's retarded. I think it's fucking stupid. But I mean, maybe trap music is your special outlet. Maybe, I mean, I personally believe that trap music has become like an outlet in for all the wrong ways. It's very ignorant music, and it's like people like to get drunk and fucked up to like forget about their life for whatever reason and listen to trap music and just become dumb and ignorant. Not calling everybody who listens to trap music dumb and ignorant, just I don't know, like music's an escape for me in different ways than people who listen to trap for the most part. It's definitely a stereotype, but that stereotype I would say prevails majority of the time. So I'm not gonna eat this, but I want to eat it. Look at this cheese. Alright. Inconsiderate. I'm sorry, I can't control myself. I'm a fucking animal. I'm also an animal because I'm eating with my fucking mouth shut. Alright. Boys and girls, we're going on a walk. Because I don't want to be without salad, and oh fuck, there's somebody here. I'm not crazy. We're closed. Ooh. What do you want? Alright, I got a customer. Well, I apologize. I was going to go on that walk, and when I turn around, turns out I'm not crazy, because there actually was somebody back there. And it was some high school kids, about 3 or 4 years younger than me. I actually knew one of their older brothers, and they wanted some fireworks, so I made like $10 off of these kids. And probably not exactly the most honest thing in the world, but you know, I mean, oh well. Anyway, I would like to talk about conscious eating. That's something that comes to mind. These kids totally saw me talking to myself too. I think they did at least. I don't know. I like to talk about conscious eating, because I think a lot of Americans, a lot of people tend to just put things into their body without thinking about it. They don't really think of the effects. And my philosophy with nutrition, off the little I know, I mean, I've spent a myriad of hours researching it, but like compared to somebody who knows, there's an expert, I know nothing. And my whole philosophy on it is, objectively, we all know what's good for our bodies. Greens are good. Some lean meats. A lot of omega-3s. Low in sodium, low in sugar. Things like that. And if it's usually good for your body, it's typically good for your mind, because I think a lot of people have their brain working on dog shit mode. And I've noticed, I'm not speaking of a place of conceive. No, it's not even that. It's just I've noticed people who eat healthier tend to just and live healthy lifestyles, versus other people tend to have healthier working brains than those who just kind of I don't know, impulsively make decisions what they do with themselves. People who smoke cigarettes are usually the same people shoving McDonald's in their face 2-3 times a day or multiple times a week, whatever that may be, and just eating shit. I think it does take a little bit of discipline, but if you detach yourself from American culture, I mean, you don't even necessarily have to do that, but just consciously start thinking about what you're putting in your body, regardless of your weight. Look at our country, man. Look at the U.S. Look at how many fucking people are fat. You have to take a step back and realize, like, there are a lot of people that are fat in this country. I need to think about what I can do to not be like that when I'm older. And I, from a very young age, from like 7th grade to just, I talk about myself because it's the greatest reference I have. But from 7th grade, I took a decision. I said I'm gonna start eating healthy, and I got shit for it, to be honest. But I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this to help myself. Why are you coming at me with like giving me shit about that? Who gives a fuck what you have to say? Because what you have to say doesn't matter. It only matters what I have to do. What I have to do is put good, healthy things into my body. And I think that has tremendously helped me out as a person who I am and who I want to be. And I'm going to continue to eat healthy. When I got shit for that, they said, okay, so, and this is just one example, but, okay, so if I eat like shit, this one meal, then I'm going to be fat. And I said, no, one meal doesn't matter. But this one meal is going to create a habit for the next meal, and the next meal, and the next meal. And if you start eating like ass, you're going to start feeling like ass. Your brain's going to be dog shit. Your body's going to be dog shit. You're going to be out of shape. You're going to get tired faster. You gotta treat yourself, man. I mean, what it really comes down to is temporary pleasure, temporary satisfaction with junk food going into your body, hitting your sensory impulsive taste, and giving you some slight pleasure for a few minutes. And that's about all it is until you swallow it and it goes down into your stomach, gets digested, and turns into shit. Then you feel like ass because you're running on shit energy. What you put in your body is like everything. At least to me, I mean, it dictates what kind of day I'm gonna have. If I put good things into my body, I'm most likely gonna be feeling pretty good, which is gonna result in a lot of positive effects. And if I work out, I'm gonna feel good. I get endorphins flowing. I'm gonna feel great about myself, and that's gonna have a lot of lasting positive effects for my day. I think a lot of it starts with your healthy habits, and it's about creating those healthy habits. If you haven't created them already, that's fucking fine. That's completely fine. You gotta think about completely reconsidering, not completely, but reconsidering how you're living your life and what your habits are like. And I'm just talking from a standpoint of health, because once you make those decisions to live healthier, as far as food going into your body, exercising daily, or whatever frequently, exercising frequently, whatever that may mean to you. If that means twice a week, then so be it. If that's an improvement to what you are doing prior to this, then that's awesome. That's great. That's a win. That is a win for you. That is a battle that you have just won. That is a weekly battle. You gotta look at it like that. You can't look at it, you gotta do better. You gotta raise your standards. Because once you start making positive, healthy standards that you hold yourself to and have the discipline to effectively execute weekly, I like to do it on a weekly schedule. If you want to do it on a daily schedule, on a monthly schedule, whatever it may be. But as long as you execute those workouts, that nutrition, consistently with discipline, your whole entire life will change. That is a fucking promise from me to you. Your entire life will change, because, like I said, you're gonna have more energy. If you say you're one of those people who sleeps 5 hours a night. If you start making more time, setting a standard that you're gonna sleep 8 hours. And everybody's different. I'm the type of guy, I like to sleep a lot. I like to sleep 8 hours at least. Otherwise, I just feel very droggy. My mind's not working very effectively. And, yeah, it just starts a positive, because you start feeling like ass, you start getting negative, man. And that's just a negative spiral. I've noticed that there's just a ripple effect when it comes to negativity and positivity. You will, if you start finding a reason to be negative, it's gonna create a negative impulse, a negative downward spiral, and then from there, more and more negativity is going to come from that, because more and more negativity is going to become a habit. It's going to become habitual for you, and you can't let that happen. That's unacceptable, to let negativity become a habit. And I think a lot of it, the starting point, the reference point, is what you put in your body, how many hours you're sleeping a night, how frequently you're working out. That's the trifecta. That's the triangle of truth. And you need to execute those to the best of your ability. And I know it's difficult. I think the hardest part, it's difficult for some people. It's definitely a mental thing. For me, it's so deeply ingrained into my daily ritual and my habitual tendencies that I don't even have to fucking think about it. It's like a standard I set for myself. I say, you know what? I'm going to go work out today, because that's what I did yesterday. That's what I did 2 days ago. That's what I did, fill in the blank. I think the hardest part is eating healthy, personally. I think eating healthy is very difficult. I think, there's definitely somebody out there. Alright, we're good. I'm in a fenced in area. I think eating healthy is the most difficult in this country, especially in the United States, because good quality healthy food, one, is lied to about what is healthy. A lot of people don't even understand what healthy is, and you got to do the research. The research is worth in the end. And you can just live by the basic philosophies of what you know is good and what you don't know is good for your body, and that's probably going to be better. And watch your sugar. You got to check that nutrition facts constantly. Everything I eat, everything I put into my body, I think about the after effects. If I eat too much today, I choose to weigh too much tomorrow. And I just find that unacceptable. I think if more people thought that way, and I'm not saying think like me, I'm just saying this is what works for me. So, and I'm just trying to help anybody out there who may be listening with this, who struggles with the daily health, who even just struggles with negativity. I mean, you change those three things. If you constantly are working out, you have those endorphins flowing, you have your blood flowing, your brain's going to be working better, your body's going to feel nicer, and it's going to thank you a lot for it. And you're just going to feel better, man. And you're eating better, you're going to feel better. You sleep, you're going to be less tired, you're going to be less negative, and it's going to change your life. It absolutely will. It's going to change who you are. It's going to make you a better person. And if that doesn't sound appealing to you, then go fuck yourself. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't really understand how that couldn't sound appealing to anybody, especially if what you've been trying hasn't worked for you. And I'm not saying it has or hasn't, but maybe it could be working better. You know, maybe it could be an improvement. And that's all I'm really saying, is just improve on those three qualities, and your life will improve. That's just frank, and it's not even like a 10% change, man. It's not like Sam Harris and Dan Harris says, 10% happier with meditation, which is also a very positive thing you can bring into your life that I'm not going to talk about. But it's not even like a 10% happier. It's like a 50%, like it's a whole fucking 180, man. Your life will completely change if you start taking those things seriously. Whatever seriously means to you, whatever standards you want to hold for yourself, as long as they're an improvement upon your yesterday, upon your today, then fucking do it. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. I probably sounded a little bit generic, because I know a lot of people are talking about health and fitness nowadays, but and I'm not necessarily a health or fitness coach or anything like that. It's just like, I'm just somebody who's stuck with my fitness, who's always been active, who pretty much for the better half of my life, I mean, I've been eating McDonald's since 3rd grade, and when I ate a fucking salad. Like, I've been health conscious my whole life, and I think it's made some really positive impacts on my body, but what people don't think about is their brain. My brain, I just feel like, is working way healthier than it does. Like, when I eat something healthy and it just works better than if I don't eat something healthy. That's probably my biggest argument, the thing that people are most ignorant to. But and I think it comes from a lack of energy from my body, supplied to my brain. Maybe, I don't know, but my brain just feels like dog shit when I eat like shit. That's just the reality of it. But awesome. I hope I positively impacted somebody's life out there. If not, then I just reinforced my own beliefs, so it's a win-win regardless. Yeah, so I made $10 about a few minutes ago. Kind of dishonest, not exactly proud of it, but I'm down with it. Aye, aye, Captain. Peace out. Much love, boys and girls.